Everyone thinks big portable power stations are overpriced overkill. But here's the thing, the Bluetti AC200MAX can actually save you money and headaches if you put it to real work. Because its LiFePO4 battery, 2200W inverter, and solar-friendly design punched way above what I expected. Stop scrolling. I spent 3 weeks testing it through an outage simulation, a cold weather camping trip, and a weekend of tool use on a job site. I went in skeptical. What I found flipped a few assumptions, especially about recharge speed and expandability, and it exposed a couple of deal breakers for some people. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. If you're already thinking this sounds like your backup plan, I'll drop the best current price link below. But hang tight, because what surprised me might change which bundle you choose. Here's the setup. I wanted one box that could keep my essentials alive during a blackout, power my trailer off-grid, and run a few high-draw tools without tripping. My last mid-sized power station promised 2000 W output, but sagged under a miter saw and needed an entire day to recharge on wall power. Frustrating. We've had more grid hiccups lately, and I'm done babysitting freezers. So I grabbed the AC200MAX because on paper it checks boxes. 2048 WH LiFePO4 battery rated for 3500 plus cycles to 80% capacity. A 2200W pure sine wave inverter with big surge headroom. Dual MPPT solar up to 900W. And the option to expand capacity with B230 or B300 batteries up to 6144 WH or 8192 WH. Sounds like marketing, right? I wanted proof. Test 1. Home outage simulation. I ran a full-size fridge, a chest freezer, Wi-Fi, a few LED lights, and phone laptop charging. Average draw hovered around 300 to 350 W once everything stabilized. The AC200MAX ran that setup for a little over 5 hours straight before I cut loads to just the fridge, router, and lights. At that lighter 120 to 180 W average, it carried on well past 20 hours. What stood out? Voltage stayed stable and the inverter never hiccuped when compressors cycled. But then I noticed something. With the AC output left on, the idle consumption ticked around the low double-digit watts per hour. Turn on eco mode and it helps, but plan for some idle draw. Test 2. Solar charging in the real world. Bluetti rates it for up to 900 W via dual MPPT. I used 3 200W panels most days, saw 400 to 550 W around midday in winter sun, and took the unit from roughly 25% to 95% in about 3 hours on a clear day. On a cloudy day, it took closer to 5 hours. Fair, but here's where it gets interesting. Combining solar with the included 500W AC brick hit around 900 to 1000 W input in my setup, bringing the battery from 15% to 90% in roughly 2 hours. That combo charge is a sleeper feature if you need rapid turnarounds between uses. Test 3. Tools and kitchen practicality. The 2200W inverter handled a 15-amp miter saw starting surge without drama, a 1000W microwave while charging a laptop via the 100W USB-C port, and a shop vac cycling on and off. But then I pushed a heavy cut on the table saw. I saw output crest near the continuous limit and decided not to tempt fate for long. The lesson: it'll take most household power tools, but respect that 2200W continuous ceiling for sustained loads. Fan noise. Under heavy loads, the fans sound like a box fan on medium, not loud, but you'll hear it. Test 4. RV travel trailer weekend. I ran the trailer's essentials, charged cameras and drones, and used the 12V30A high current DC port for a clean, stable feed. A small 5000 to 6000 BTU window AC was possible for brief stints at around 500 to 600 W. Realistically, that's a couple of hours of cooling at this capacity. For most RVers, it's brilliant for everything except continuous air conditioning. And yes, there are 2 wireless charging pads on top that actually came in handy for phones at night. Now, the revelation. The most surprising part wasn't the raw power, it was the flexibility. The AC200MAX is basically a hub you can grow into. I added a friend's B300 pack for a day to test expansion. Doubling or tripling capacity changes the math completely. Suddenly, 900 W of solar input turns into a solid daily harvest that genuinely supports off-grid living, not just weekend play. And because this is LiFePO4 chemistry rated at 3500 plus cycles before dropping to 80% capacity, the long-term cost per usable kilowatt-hour is far better than many NMC-based competitors. It's not the fastest wall charger out of the box. The single 500W brick takes around 4.5 to 5 hours for a near-empty to full charge, and that power brick is bulky. EcoFlow's Delta line can slam charge faster on AC, no question. But the Bluetti counters with expandable capacity, generous solar input, robust DC outputs, and a conservative inverter that feels rock solid under load. The Bluetooth app is simple but handy for turning ports on-off and checking input-output without walking over. No, it won't do 240V split phase, and it's not lightweight at roughly 62 pounds, so it's more of a move-it-occasionally box than a carry-everywhere gadget. But in terms of reliability plus scalability, it beat my expectations. Now that you know the AC200MAX's real edge is grow-as-you-go capacity with serious solar intake, you'll want to grab it when bundles and coupons pop up. Check the link in the description for the best current price and battery expansion kits before stock swings. Bottom line, the Bluetti AC200MAX is worth the investment if you need a dependable 2 kWh backbone that can expand as your needs do. Get it if you're prepping for outages, running an RV or off-grid cabin essentials, or you need a portable job site power source that handles real tools. Skip it if you need ultralight portability, 240V support for a deep well pump, or the absolute fastest AC-only recharge out of the box. For most people who want reliable power they can grow into, this is the sweet spot. Not hype, just a workhorse that pays for itself the first time the lights go out.